Alright, well, I'm going to go over cooking eggs today in the cast iron skillets. Eggs are probably one of the hardest things to cook, I would say. In the cast iron, probably in other skillets and cookware as well. Because of the nature of the eggs, they tend to stick, and you can overcook them and they'll stick and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some eggs. This is my fry skillet, so I can fry a single egg in here, and I use this one for my scrambled eggs. One of the tricks that you want to do is to turn the burner on first and get your pan a little warm. You don't want it hot though, to where once you put the egg in it's like instantly starting to turn white. But you want it slightly warm, so that way when you do put your egg in, it doesn't spread everywhere. You want it to, it'll spread a little bit, but because the pan's already warm, it won't spread a lot. Also, what you want to do is put a little bit of butter on the bottom. So let's go ahead and turn our burner on here. We'll fry an egg first, and I usually use about a medium heat is what I start with. And let's put a little bit of butter in there. Get a little bit of butter going in there. Now once your pan is good and seasoned, you probably don't need to put any butter down, but I still like to anyways. It helps with the cleanup and it gives that extra flavor and nice brownness to the egg. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this egg in there. Okay, so that spread a little bit more than I wanted to, so you can see how you kind of want to wait for the pan to get warm. Add your salt and pepper. And if it does run a little bit too much, you can kind of pull it up on itself. This pan has a good seasoning on it already, so the butter just ensures that it won't stick. And you can see that it's not even sticking at all. So I'm going to turn it down. Once it starts going and gets up to temperature, I'm going to turn it down to like a medium-low heat. Okay, so we're going to try to give it a flip here. And it's so slippery it's hard to even get it on the spatula. There we go. And notice how it's just starting, the butter helps to get just that nice brown in certain areas. And depending on how well you like your yolk done, if you like it runny, you can pull it off. I don't like mine very runny, so I'm just going to let it cook for a little bit longer. The good thing about cast iron too is it retains its heat. So you can turn, once you flip it pretty much, if you want a runny yolk, you can turn the heat off, and the pan will still cook the egg white a little bit, and then you can just pull the egg off. So there it is. That's about how I like mine. I don't like the yolk too runny. So that's a fried egg. So for cleanup, if your cast iron is seasoned well and your egg doesn't stick at all, what you can do is take a little bit of paper towel or napkin and just wipe it out. Be careful because the pan is hot. And that's one of the other reasons why I like to throw down a little bit of butter, is it just helps to maintain the non-stick coating that's in there when you wipe it down afterwards. And this pan is good to go for the next egg for tomorrow. Okay, so for scrambled eggs, I'm going to use the slightly larger skillet, and I'm going to mix up the eggs in a separate container here. And I'm going to add my pepper and a little bit of Creole seasoning. Okay, so just like with the fried egg, we're going to throw down a little bit of butter, and instead of the metal spatula, I'm going to be using this wooden one. So let's get our heat going. Start off on a medium, get the pan warmed up. I'm going to throw in a little bit of butter. We have our eggs mixed up here with just cruelli and pepper. I'm going to help get this butter spread around here. So we're going to pour in our eggs. Turn it down to medium-low, and what we want to do is kind of cook the underneath side of the scrambled eggs here, and we're going to just keep moving them on top of itself. So you just want to keep pulling and pushing them. This will help them to get nice and fluffy. And you can see here that there's nothing that's really sticking. I can pull at any portion of the pan and it comes right off. So one of the keys to doing the eggs is having the proper heat. The initial proper heat when you go to put your egg in there, and then turning down the heat once you do put your egg in there. And these are almost done. So what you can do now, once they start looking done, is you can turn the heat off, and because they'll still cook a little bit. And if you do have a cast iron pan that's not fully seasoned yet, you can, and if it does start sticking, it usually comes off really easily just by putting some water in there for a few minutes and using your cast iron scraper. Let's put these on the plate while they're still hot, and we can put some cheddar cheese on them. And the flavors when using cast iron with eggs are really good compared to other cookware. Just put some cheese on it here. And so there we go. Some scrambled eggs, and you can use some salsa or whatever else you want to go with it. Stir it around, let the cheese melt, but that's the scrambled eggs. It's really quick and easy. Once your cast iron pans are nice and seasoned, cooking eggs in them is a breeze. And the scrambled eggs always leaves a little bit more, residual residue, but as you can see, it just comes right off. And if you do get eggs that stick when you're cooking, it's best to clean the pans right away. And my wife forgets that, and so there'll be eggs stuck on for a couple days. If it is stuck on there, like I said, you can just throw some water in there for a few minutes. Don't let it sit for a very long time, maybe 5 minutes, and use your Lodge scraper. It'll come off really easily. This is the Lodge scraper here. So that's a demonstration of fried egg and scrambled egg in the cast iron. Thanks. Oh, you want to see if this will wipe out with a rag? Sure. No need to even run it underwater. I'm just going to sweep these crumbs off to the trash can. And there we go. Ready to go for the next egg.